Rise and shine, it's espresso time. Good morning, Believe Nation, it's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have an amazing gift inside you that I want to see explode out into the world. So grab your coffee and sip on today's message, Disrupt Your Standard. Over to you, Lisa Nichols.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
I run into so many people all around the world who are living this duality. One, I want more, but two, I don't want to disrupt what I have. And the challenge is, in order for you to have a breakthrough to the next level, your standard, your average, and your ordinary has to be disrupted. People say, oh, Lisa, how do I do this? And I go, do this, 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 and this. I give you the steps. And the next thing they say is, that's so hard. I'm sorry. Did you think your breathtaking life would come on a merry-go-round? Did you think you're gonna do the swings and get there? You're gonna sweat. So get up, ready to sweat. Get up, ready to forgive the perceivingly unforgivable. Get up, ready to take the higher road even when the smallness in you wants to get engaged. Avoid the fight, because the fight keeps you in the little you when you're committed to being the bigger version of yourself. Yeah, you're gonna have to say some things you never said and do some things you've never done so you can meet the man, the woman you've always known yourself to be.
Every major breakthrough that I've ever made in my life, in my business, has not come from applying a specific strategy and that's what saved me. It's by raising my standard. It's by changing my mindset. It's by altering what I am no longer willing to accept in myself and from the people around me and in my environment. And when you can make that mental shift, then you're more able to pay attention to the strategies. Because I could give you tons of strategies and tons of tactics on how to grow your business, but unless you have the mindset of growth and you're ready to push through your limiting beliefs, you're not gonna listen to the strategies and you're not gonna apply them to your life. So the earliest one I can remember is thinking back to my first business. I was 19 years old. I'm selling biotech software. I'm selling to people 3 times my age with PhDs. Science was my worst subject growing up. And I always thought, I don't know anything about science. I'm way too young. I have no degree in this. They're not gonna listen to me. And that held me back for the longest time. And it wasn't until I realized that all they really care about is that my software can help them in their business, in their research. Once I realized that, by having one conversation, my values rose. My standards shifted. I was able to move beyond the I'm too young to be able to do this. Even more recent, looking at this business, Toronto Dance Salsa, I became an investor in this company a while ago. I ended up taking over this business at the beginning of 2016. And before doing that, I had opportunities to take over the company, but I never thought that I wanted to. I didn't think I could. I didn't think I knew enough about the details. I didn't think I could run it and do my YouTube channel and do my other businesses and help entrepreneurs and do investing and speaking. I didn't think I could do it all together. And then I believed that I could, and then I did, right? It's a mind game. We trick ourselves out of doing things that are in line with what we want to do because we believe that we can't. Even still for me, even Mr. Belief, right? My biggest limiting belief is still the belief that I can't do something. And so I think the hardest part is recognizing the limiting beliefs that you have. Because they're so subconscious, they're so automatic, they're so patternistic that you just fall into them regularly without having to think about it. You don't have to think about living small, you just do every day. You don't have to think about holding yourself back. You just do every day. It's automatic. And so an exercise that I like to use that maybe you guys can apply is just looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, what are the big goals that you have and why have you not accomplished them yet? Why have you not hit that goal yet? So you look in the mirror, say like, why have I not hit this goal? And see what comes back. And if you're coming down to a strategy, it's not the reason. If you're coming down to complaining or blaming somebody else, like the government hasn't passed regulation for it yet, or the country I'm in sucks, or the currency, or whatever, right? My parents' education system, whatever. If it's blaming somebody else, that's not the answer either. It's nobody else's fault, and it's also not a specific strategy. It's you, it's the mindset. If you can get down to that, if you can figure out that specific issue and solve it, that's where you get your next phase of growth. So if I ask myself with a software company, why am I not having more success yet? I'm too young, they won't take me seriously. I don't have the degree, they won't take me seriously. That was my reasoning, that was my rationale, it made total logical sense. That was the key, to break through that to be able to unlock it. For TDS, I'm too busy to be able to take on this new business. I don't know enough about the details to be able to run the operations. Switching that, right? Bringing on Alex, training him, having a transition plan. Unlocking that allowed me to believe that I could, and so I did. And it doesn't always happen overnight like that. Some beliefs can just change in an instant, and now you're off on a new path. And some take more time to develop, but recognizing them is the game. Recognizing where you are holding yourself back and where you need to increase the standard, disrupt the standard, your current standard to get to the next level, that's the game. The best example I have is the mirror test. I hope you try it out. So the question today is, I want you to try that mirror test. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why have I not achieved this goal, whatever it is for you? What's the answer that comes back? Write it down in the comments below, and hopefully by writing it down, you can help release it. And if you can't figure out what the limiting belief behind it is, maybe fellow members of Believe Nation can jump in and support you too. I would love to hear from you. Please leave your answer down in the comments below. So thank you guys again for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of Espresso.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
Gonzalez, what do you think about the comfort zone? I think it's the worst place you could ever be. When you're hungry, you want more. When you're wildly successful, you can embrace your hard work and be proud of it. When you're in the comfort zone, it's just blah.
We become our standards in many ways. If you are surrounded by B players or average performers, and that is your standard, then your mindset will operate at the standard that is offered to you by the people around you. I mean, we do become our social orbit. And if you are at a standard internally that I want to be a game changer in my field, I want to be BIW, the best there ever was, I want to be the Van Gogh and the Rembrandt of technology or whatever field you play in, then your behavior always matches your internal identity and your inner standards. So your standards are important, your standards for your friendships, your standards for the quality of the work you do, the standards of your languaging, the standards of the nutrition you put into your body, the standards of your love life, the standards of your mindset, the standards of the way you occur in the world. And so my invitation for you, regardless of what you do, is that you raise your game to a place called world class. And that is all about being a game changer. Now, I should caution you, and I don't like that word because language is so powerful and caution is a word that really is a little dramatic. But I want to caution you, which is as you leave the herd and the crowd and perhaps the cult of mediocrity and rise to being a game changer, it's a very disruptive act. And you actually threaten the masses of people around you. And that's why every visionary was first ridiculed before they were revered. And I'm sure you've experienced it. You say, you know, I want to take my fitness to a whole new level of world class, or I want to take my craft to a whole new level of world class, or maybe you're raising your game financially and then you share it with those you love or your friends, and maybe your friends are those you love and they laugh at you. And how many times have we given up on a dream because we were mocked by the people around you? And all I'm suggesting to you is when you get laughed at and ridiculed, and when people don't understand your next level of world class, that just means you've got a great dream, and that just means you're on the path of growth. So be a game changer.
This album is very much, it's rooted in my comfort zone, but there are certain times where I step out of the comfort zone. And the reason I chose Sing as the sort of lead single for it, that being Step Out of the Comfort Zone, is I had an acoustic ballad song that I wanted to put out first. And whenever I played it to people, they were like, No, it's nice, yeah. Oh, really cool, really nice song. When you played Sing to people, it really polarised everyone. They were like, they either hated it or they loved it, but they spoke about it a lot. You know, you'd speak to people and they'd be like, oh yeah, I heard about that song because so-and-so was talking about it, but no one was talking about the acoustic tune. So I thought by sticking out a song that sort of makes people talk, it would be a lot better for the album.
Well, let me give you the one-word secret to happiness. One word, this is all you need to be happy.
The most important word ever.
If you had to think of one word that's most important to you or that sums you up or that would be kind of like a little beacon.
Hey Believe Nation, if you want to know what the most important one word is for Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Oprah Winfrey, will.i.am, and Howard Schultz, I have a very special secret video for you. Check the description for details.